Hi guys, welcome. This is chapter 9, data collection method for questionnaires. These are for those who doing the quantitative study. These are the learning outcome for this topic. Once you completed this topic, you should be able to design your questionnaire, and then you should be able to evaluate whether your questionnaire is measuring the right construct or not. Okay, these are the definition of the questionnaire, right? I'm sure that you have seen the questionnaire. It could be coming from the Google Doc, it could be coming from the piece of paper, it could be of anything. It's the same thing that you use in the for comment card, but the comment card is mainly short and simplified item, but for the for your final project, it much more complex. So when are you going to questionnaire? Basically, when you are doing a quantitative study, right? Your sample size is very big, and then you must be able to collect data in quite a large geographical areas, or in several mall, for example. Questionnaire actually coming into two functions. Usually we give this part A, part B, part C, and seldom that the last part is for the demographic profile and the earlier part is for the measuring your construct. So what is good thing about questionnaire? Because it's help researcher obtain data easy and inexpensive, especially if you bring the Google Doc, you did not have to uh, photostat many pieces, right? And then your information from questionnaire is easily coded. Usually we use the Likert scale 1 to 7, 1 to 5, right? And then you can cover as much as possible the area as much as possible, and then well designed, simple and clear, and you can self administering. However, sometimes when you collected the data through survey, it can cause you low response rate, right? Because uh, quite difficult to get the minimum number because some people are sometimes don't want to participate, right? So the medicine questionnaire design. So what should be asked? How should each question be phrased? Right? Your sentences must be short and clear. And then in what sequence should the question be arranged? That one usually um, you will see whether it's a good arrangement when you are doing the validity of the questionnaire and also the validity of the questionnaire. What questionnaire layout will best serve the research objective, right? And how should the questionnaire be pre-tested? And then does the questionnaire need to revise? Whereas usually we practice two ways of checking your questionnaire. First, we call it validity, and the second one we call it a combat alpha, right? So during the designing of your questionnaire, and you are collecting you are compiling all the relevant questionnaire, relevant statement or question in your questionnaire, right? Somehow you need to test whether it actually measure the right construct, or you have several other issues to attend. After the several tests, then you can revise your questionnaire uh, before you are disputing your questionnaire. These are the steps designing your questionnaire. Uh, First, you must know that your problem, your sampling size, your unit analysis, your studies, and everything. Right? And questionnaire can be in person, face to face, or it can be mail and also electronic distributed. Why you send it personally? Because it's a bit confined to a local area, you can handle, it's much easier, and then the organization willing to participate in your. These are the self-administered questionnaire. Require minimal staff. Usually the researcher itself can do the collecting the data, and then less expensive and save many times, and then can be cost and anonymous, and then questionnaire can be collected clear from the respondent. If you want to collect data in the hotel, you get the permission from the respective departments, and then you say that in 2 weeks time you'll coming back and collect the data, right? Or you can in a group you can go um, 2 or 3 malls, then you go and wait. Let's say that you are looking for the restaurant, you let the customer. Uh, Once the customer left the restaurant, you can approach them and ask whether they want to participate, and then you give the questionnaire. Disadvantage of the self-answer questionnaire is that low response rate, and then no clarification available, and incomplete survey. Sometimes you can see that the respondent feel not happy or lazy or feel uneasy, so they don't want to complete the survey. Then the whole questionnaire is void. Then you have to remove it. Mail questionnaire, right? There are several ways to improve. First, you send the letters with the questionnaire, and then if not responding, you keep on sending the reminder and the third reminder. For the mail questionnaire, usually you have to provide envelope with your self address, complete with the postage to mail back to you, and it will very costly if the your potential respondent refuse to complete the survey, and you keep on sending the reminder. Principle of questionnaire design, of course, we have content, the format, your wording, the sequence of the sentence, and also the cover letter. And let's say that your construct is a food quality. Okay, food quality usually people measure at least 5 items or five measuring patient, right? For example, that temperature, uh, portion size, color, what else? The presentations, and then the taste, right? So there are 5 items here. You cannot in one sentence you put everything, five things in one sentence. Your consult must be asked in five uh, multiple questions. And usually the content is subject nature, such as satisfaction, perception, attitude, and we usually use Likert scale, 1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 11, right? And there are these are the demographic profile, and usually you will use for profiling your respondent. Okay. Uh, Usually you will answer more on the objective measure, level of education or age, right? Format, usually we use some kind of the booklet, right? If you printing one A4 paper, you can have a 4 pages, so you must arrange it nicely, and you make sure that the whole sentence is 1 page. You cannot have the next page, half of the question is in the next page. So your arrangement is very important and must be numbered, right? You have to provide with the your letter, and then your serial number, so that you'll be able to trace your your case later on. And always end your questionnaire with a thank you. uh, to me, that if during the final project, you may avoid to have parts we have the please comment, right? It's enough that you're having only the legal skill, right? So you will shorten your analysis part. And there are two type of questionnaire. We have the open-ended and closed-ended. Open-ended, the one that I said just now, the comments, and then closed-ended, then you arrange your statements and then list 1 to 7. Open-ended is allow the respondent to answer freely. It's not really like the qualitative study because you have the uh, closed-end question, but this one only a few lines that if the respondent have something else to say that doesn't have in the statement. Open-ended question is more narrative, a complete sentence, and then you just can coding, and then you can put in the software, and then you can get the result. Right? These are the example of the closed-ended question. On my left hand column is an open-ended question, and the bigger column in the right hand side is a closed-ended question. Principle of wording, make sure that it's appropriate of the content of the questions, and then the sequence, your personal data, and how the question are worded. Okay. Language and wordings, never use high high level of sentences. Use the lemon words, and then only simplify your sentence. uh, Try to reduce the jargon, and then you must very sensitive to the culture, to the religious when you are designing your questionnaire. Your statement must be clear and concise and simple. And never and avoid the use the word that they can lead into unintentional among the respondent, and also make them misinterpret your meaning. Avoid double barrel questions, ambiguous question, bias question, and recall question. Look at the example here. Do you think that coupling is bad and the student must avoid this kind of here? There are two things here, right? So if you are the respondent, how are you going to answer? Are you answering the coupling is bad, or the student should avoid the kind of behavior? Therefore, you need to split the question. It's much easier for the respondent to respond. Ambiguous question, avoid using ambiguous question as it will create misinterpretation. Right? And try to avoid recall questions, because you will sometimes you will be biased, and also sometimes the respondent forget about the situation. Your question cannot lead the uh, respondent to answer. You have to compose the word that have a straight and doesn't lead to anywhere. Let the respondent willingly to answer the question. These are the common mistake in the when you asking the question. Too many open question and too many yes no question. For example, that if yes, straight to question number 4. If no, you can straight away to question number 10. For example, right? And because yes no question, you cannot uh, address, you cannot satisfy your uh, hypothesis. It need to be in Likert scale. Because yes or no is 0 to 1, 0 and 1. So it doesn't bring any values, right? You can compose your word positively or negatively. It depends on your situation. But uh, the way you arrangement must be clear so that people understand whether this is a positive statement and negative statement. If they not what you call it, you know, understand, then they might answer wrong label. These are the labels: strongly disagree, disagree, uh, uh, what the neutral, agree, strongly. This is a five-figure scale. In simple rule of thumb, your statement should not exceed 20 words or exceed one full line in print. That's the best one. Okay? And your question must be starting from general and then you narrow it down. These are the demographic profile. You need to pre-test it or pilot your study because that this is the only way that you ensure that you are measuring the construct, you are have the possible enough item to certify the objective to address the hypothesis and also solution into your problem. You may use existing question, right? That's the reason why I've mentioned several times that if you read the article, goes when you got the result from the article, right, you must identify which item that might relevant to your study and then get the author's name and then you have start to compile this one. The item the combination of the item is a item pool item pooling we call it. And sometimes you might need the screening question. For example, that you are looking at someone who try or experience eating in the uh, five-star hotel coffee house, for example, and then not in among your friends, you know that there are not many people are experience eating in the five-star hotel. Then you can ask them whether they are experienced or not. If they say yes, then you can distribute your questionnaire to the person. If not, then you have to look for another potential these are the letters, right? Before you can proceed to collect data, you have the potential respondent usually will read and run through uh, the the letter. Yeah, these are the example of the questionnaire. And section C is really the demographic information. Cover letter, the one that I show is very important because you will tell the reader who are you, so what are your studies all about, and it's actually the contract, mutual contract, that saying that uh, you did not reveal the information, the person information, you will refer it as the anonymous. uh, these are the letter that if you are sending out, if you, for example, that um, you have to live in the hotel, for example, or you send it by mail, and then you have to have a letter, and then you must have the follow-up letter.